Something tells me you guys that listen to this enjoy porn. And I say this explicitly to the person listening right now because every week I ask, what song can I change it to? What song can I change it to? And I get no responses, even though I can see you guys are listening. So this voyeurism needs to stop. I need some interaction, guys. We need to make money here, okay? I told you from the day one of the first episode, we are here to sell out, make money. And then I'm going to tell you how to sell out and make money. You know, fuck all that. Let's just get straight into it. So, since we spoke last, I've started to invest into crypto, right? I don't know about you guys, and I wouldn't even say crypto, right? It's Bitcoin. I started doing more and more research, and now I'm like, you know what? Bitcoin, for me, Bitcoin at least, I'm gonna start using it as a savings and an investment, right? So anything I make just goes straight into that, just bang, make an extra 500 this week, straight into that. I don't want to get too much into it, but I thought it would be funny to let you guys know that I did also put, I think like $100 on like Pepe coin, which is a meme coin. I don't advise. That is 100% a gamble. It's like the Doge coin. I don't get it, but we'll see how it goes. You know, people are dumb. Like they'll just pump it up and be like, yeah, take it to $1. All you need is enough of those motherfuckers to do that with those bullshit meme coins to make a profit. Other than that, if you haven't already started investing in Bitcoin, I don't know what to tell you. I think now is the time. I don't think investing in property is the same, right? I think you can really set yourself up if you invest in Bitcoin. Like just even now, if you own half a Bitcoin, right now I think it's like 150,000 Australian dollars, which is like 98K, 99 USK. If this thing does hit a million by 2030, maybe 2033 is what I think it will, then, and you own half of one, you have made a significant profit. And not just that, once all these banks start using it, you can leverage it, right? You can use it as an asset. So you don't actually have to touch it, but you can like take loans out against it. And if it keeps rising, which it will, if you look into it, it will keep rising. Obviously, there'll be moments where it drops down a little bit, but if it keeps rising, it's a great investment. All right, let me just put that out there. I'm not here to harp on that. I don't care if you do or you don't. Just giving you my 2 cents. Now, I went to a fucking rave, like a fucking techno rave. Anamaya, Genesis, I don't know what their names were. My friend hit me up a couple of weeks ago. He's like, hey, mate, he works for the radio. He's like, do you want to go to this rave? And instantly I was like, no. Because I don't like raves, right? I've been to a million. I'm not a huge fan of them. I'm not a million, but I've been to quite a bit. And I'm just not a huge fan of the environment. But he showed me this video where basically like the holograms were crazy. Like it looked fucking something out of the future. He also asked me when I was high. And then I said, yeah, I'll go. So I went to the rave on Saturday. And I like to say it went well, but that is definitely my last rave. And for a multitude of reasons. One, I couldn't make it. Like I couldn't stand the whole time. So what happened was the rave's on Saturday, right? It starts at 3 p.m., but the main guy gets on at 9:30. So we're not gonna get there till 7. My shorty's like, hey, I'm doing Hyrox or whatever it is. It's like this fucking fitness thing. You know, one of those fitness craves that come in every year. Basically, how it works is you have to do, let's say the first one is like rows, right? Rowing machine on the gym. You gotta do a kilometer on the rows, and then you gotta run a kilometer. Then you gotta come back. Then you gotta do a sled pull for 800 meters, then run a kilometer. And it's 8 different exercises, and between each exercise, you gotta run a kilometer. And these exercises aren't easy, right? Like one of them that actually fucked me up was the lunges. Now, you're asking, why the fuck would you agree to do this? And it's simple. She is doing a competition in December, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it, but I'll support you because my shoulder was fucked. But then she's like, 3 days before Saturday, she's like, oh, I need a partner. My gym is doing one for charity. And to be honest, I was like, oh. But then she's like, oh, the guy that trains there can be my partner. I was like, fuck that. Hell nah. I'll do it. Now, I told you what Hyrox is, but what I didn't tell you was I didn't know this leading up to it. I knew what kind of competition it was. I didn't know exactly what it was. And to not psych myself out, I avoided all like understanding of it. I didn't want to look it up, nothing. I was like, you know what? Let me just get there on the day and do this. So I get there on the day, I do it, and I was like, holy fuck. It took us like an hour and 27 minutes. I was like, fuck, I'm exhausted. And I swear, she knew I had a fucking rave that day. So I go home, I relax, and then my boy calls me. He's like, I'm doing a charity event. Can you come through? I'm like, yeah, no worries. Go through, got a bit of time. Why do I go there? In this charity event, it's not that you donate money. You donate by exercising. I was like, huh? My guy, I just did the thing. I told you, I can't do anything. I'm cooked. He's like, oh, every rep is $1. So I'm like, all right, fuck. So I'm like, all right, can I do the bench press at least? He's like, yeah, do 50 kilos and every bench is $1. I'm like, you know what? Going to a rave. Oh, my chest to look nice. Fuck it. Like a dumbass, I push myself. Now, I am so cooked. I'm so tired that I'm considering, like I'm not even considering not going to the rave, but I get home and I'm like, I tell my guy that's coming, I'm like, bro, I'm tired, man. And this podcast is pretty private. I lost the drugs that we bought for the rave. I lost it all. I don't know when or where. Like, I realized when he's on the way, I'm like, I should get him. And then I was like, wait, where the fuck are they? Long story short, like 5 minutes before he came, I found him. I put him somewhere random because I think the day I bought him, I was tired. Doesn't matter. We go to the rave, right? And he works for the radio. So I was fortunate, like in a VIP area where you can sit down, eat, and relax. This is how I enjoy raves. I do not need to be in the mix with all the fucking people hella high on drugs, like intense sweating, and I know I'm dehydrated. I tell everyone, I'm telling you now, if you are going to partake in festivals, raves, and you are going to do drugs, at least prepare your body. Anytime I do anything like this, days leading up to it, I'm taking my vitamins. The day of, I'm hydrated. Everything is planned out to the T because the last thing I want to do is fucking die. Right? You know how embarrassing that is? How did he die? He OD'd on MDMA. Oh, if that ever happened to me, just say I got shot. Say I got drugged. Just fucking lie for me. Because this is so embarrassing. So we get to the rave and it is hot as fuck. And because I just did the competitions like that day, I'm not feeling that tired. And eventually the main guy comes on and I'm like, you know what? I'll go inside for this. I go in with him and we see all our other mates and these drugs are kicking in hard. And we brought water into the tight section with us, but I'm like, holy shit, this water's finished. And I still got an hour left. And I say an hour left looking back at it now, but at the time, I don't have a concept of time. I didn't realize I was already in there for fucking 3 hours. I thought I was there for 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, the energy got kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, the rave itself was nice. And it reminds me of, like, Las Vegas nightclubs. But the dude next to me, like, the random, like, Asian dude. Also, Asians love raves. Like, what's up with that? Is there a thing that I'm missing? Like, I know they love raves, but like, why? Is it because it's like an individual sport? Because I always say the Chinese are good at the Olympics, but only at individual sports, like one-player sports, like shooting, archery, all that weird shit. Rave, is that the same thing? You just, like, because you're producing music? Anyway, I digress. This guy next to me, he basically goes down, like a big guy. He's obviously like too dehydrated. He's fucked. I can feel the drugs taking over my body. And I'm like, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting kind of fucked. And I'm like, you know what? No one's going to save me here. I'm a grown man. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go back to the VIP section where they got unlimited water and unlimited food. Only problem is I am tweaking, right? Don't know if anyone here has ever done LSD, but I am walking against the crowd and it felt like I was walking for 5 years and I don't know, man. It felt crazy. It was like millions and millions and millions of people, it felt like. And by God, I made it out. And when I say by God, I don't know how to explain to you how difficult this walk was. I felt if I looked back, I was going to see the devil. So I sit down in the VIP section again, relaxing on the couch, and it's his like work friends. So I don't want to be weird. So I'm like, all right, be cool. I'm like, you know what? Best time right now is to organize how I'm going to get home. Make a call. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go home, but I can't leave without him. Eventually, my nigga appears. He is trying to orchestrate the after party for other people. I'm like, bro, give me your phone. There's no after party. Me and you are going home. He's like, all right, cool, bet, done. We left. We went home. We walked for fucking... What I felt like I walked, we actually ended up walking. And we're still kind of buzzing off the stuff, you know? Fortunately, we got the ride, went home, and then the next day, I slept for 18 fucking hours. I woke up, ate some fucking leftover Maccas and said, God, I see the sign. You've told me this, I'm not built for this anymore. No more raves. Only a Coachella or a R&B festival. But these raves absolutely cooked me. But you know what's more cooked than the rave? The fucking government. And not any government. The Australian government.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
I wanted to record a video, but then I saw the video and I was like, ew, I need a green screen because this shit behind me looks like a fucking mess. When I speak of messes, there is nothing more messy than the Australian government. Like, I think people around the world maybe don't have a real conception of how the Australian government works. And majority of my listeners, you guys are not in Australia, but listen how fucked up this is, right? And I need to set up because I need to be very clear about what they're doing and how, if it works here, this will be implemented in countries like America, any first world country. Like, this is how fucked up it is, right? So I think last week, the Australian government announced a social media ban for children 16 and under. And my first reaction was like, what the fuck? So random. And it was like a press conference, and our Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, who to this day I still think is gay. I'm not saying he is, but you know, it's all, the signs are there. The signs are there. At least he experimented. Tell me why this guy goes on a press conference and says, parents, we hear you. We're here to protect your kids. Under 16 social media ban. And my first thought, whose parent asked for this? I'm like, even the most conservative parents, I'm like, it's not something that they would ask for. You know what I'm saying? So he announced a bill to protect children, and he's like, we're gonna ban Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, fucking YouTube, right? I think they might be taking YouTube out, but my point still stands. And again, my initial reaction was like, this is very random. And then my next reaction is like, how the fuck are you going to tell somebody is 16 or not? The only way you can verify everyone is above the age of 16 is through an ID system, which people above the age of 16 will have to prove. And then what IDs are you going to accept? Only government issued IDs. I'm like, you know what? Let me let me just wait and see. I don't want to overreact because the government always does shit and says shit and then they don't follow through. So I said, let me wait. Then I realized the opposition party, right? So in Australia, we have Labor and Liberal. And it's the opposite of America. Liberals are like the fucking Republicans and Labours are like the liberals in America, the Democrats. And the opposing party, I'm like, oh, this is a slam dunk. They're going to be like, this is a government overreach. So right now we have like the Democrats in. And then the opposing party didn't oppose the bill. Like, they were okay with it. They didn't say anything. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, both parties are in on this? And then the only people opposing this bill were like the most far right and far left people. Like, we have this lady named Pauline Hanson, right? You know Marjorie Green in America, that crazy fucking blonde bitch? Imagine her with red hair, shorter, and just a slightly more racist. Like, this lady is fucking racist to her bone, bro. But that's, it's called the One Nation Party. And then she's opposing the bill. And I'm like, this is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. This is how shit turns left quickly. So, again, before I overreact, I'm like, you know what? Let me look into this bill. These fucking dirty fucking cunts of politicians, they put the bill out for the public to see only a couple of hours before they submit it. So like a Friday, they put it out. And then you have to, you can't read a fucking bill. So essentially, the bill, it does not state how they're going to do age checks, but it also does not state that there is a limit on how they can do it. Like, it gives them complete freedom on how they want to do it. It does not explicitly define social media. And then it basically gives the government a complete overreach, right? It doesn't even mention teenagers. It doesn't mention parents. It doesn't mention like safety in the bill. It's one of those bills like in America where they put a fancy name on it, but the actual bill itself is fucked up. So in America, they have the Patriot Bill. And the Patriot Bill was passed, I think, after 9/11, where basically if you're like suspected of terrorism, they can hold you without your rights and fuck you up nicely. They use that bill to like justify the fucked up shit they do to their own citizens. This is the same shit. They're putting a fancy name. You might as well call it the candy cane bill, the fucking Christmas bill, because it has nothing to do with what you're telling me it has to do. And I'm like, there's no way Australian society is gonna be okay with that. So after they publish it, literally, they give the Australian public a couple hours and they got 15,000 inquiries. People saying what the fuck, we don't want this. We don't want this. On both sides. Literally, this might be the only bill I've ever seen where both people on the far left, far right are saying what the fuck you, we don't want this. And it's like you're talking to a wall. They're ignoring it. They're clearly ignoring it, right? And I'm like, this is so dodgy. This is a complete government overreach. If you cared about 16-year-olds or if you cared about social media damaging kids, I think the first thing you should do is probably ban porn sites. Because one, I don't think adults would even argue against this. I think adults will be okay. Even people that watch porn will be like, fuck it. It's probably not good for my health. If you ban it, then so be it. But you're going to ban Instagram before you ban porn. They're not even banning OnlyFans. What the fuck are we doing in this country, bro? We used to be a country. We used to be true-blooded Australians, mate. And then now we're dealing with this shit? I should have known, bro. What kind of last name is Albanese? Sound like a fucked up cheese, bro. Let me get 2 kilos of the Albanese. It doesn't even sound right. Now, the truth, the bare bones truth is what the government is doing is they want to track everyone. It is clear as day. And I do not want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I hate it. But at what point, where does it stop? You can be oh, it's just this one. And when they did this with COVID, I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. They're doing it to protect for COVID. But what I am now realizing is that I am wrong. Back then, I was wrong. I should have been hard then, but I wasn't. I genuinely believe back then they were like, how can we contain COVID, protect our citizens? I did not want to believe, that's the word. I did not want to believe my government, especially in Australia, was going to use that power that they had during that time to create such a audacious bill. This bill is opposed by human rights activists. There is literally no one that is for this bill except the government, right? Even the opposition leader is for this bill. This is the quickest way to lose everyone's trust. Anyway, COVID, I was like, you know what? I'll give them this, I'll give them that, because I think they're trying to do their best. But what I am seeing here is clearly a government overreach. What they are trying to do here is track their citizens in the most fucked up way. They have more fucking rights in North Korea. Bro, China, they don't have to fucking use government ID to go on the website, to go on their own Facebook, their version of Facebook. What are we doing? I cannot comprehend. Like, I have a hard time. First of all, I'm getting worked up. But I also realize this shit's going to be impossible to implement. They can try, they can fight, but it's never going to work. And all it's going to do is result in them losing. And now they're trying to pass all these bills that are going to make us like them. Like, they passed a housing bill today where basically you only need 2% deposit down on a house and the government will help you buy the house. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you. Fuck you, Albanese. Fuck you, Peter Stoughton, whatever your last name is. Nah. What you're doing is against, like, our liberties. And I'm not saying we need social media. But what I'm saying is this is a clear pathway of an overreach from the government. This is where it starts. It started during COVID, and my bad for not seeing it. But this is, what's next? What is next? Like, you might be like, oh, how are you overreacting? Maybe I am. But what I thought with COVID, like, they're going to do this. What is next? Think about it. If they ban social media for U16, they're not even banning. If they start tracking IDs to use social media, what is next? They're probably going to get rid of fucking dollars and shit like that and make us just track us in every single way. Like, this is getting to the point where, it makes, I don't say it makes this country undesirable, but it makes certain things seem dodgy, you know? But at the end of the day, I just do not see the logistics of how this is going to work. They're going to all lose their seats. And someone like Pauline Hanson, if you don't know who she is, Google her, is going to become Prime Minister. Or Lydia Thorpe. And it is going to be hilarious. And the Australian government deserves it. And that'll be a massive reset. Because fuck them for this bullshit, bro. And that gay ass nigga, bro, he's clearly gay. What kind of prime minister is single, bro? What are we doing here? Like, if I didn't vote in the last presidential election, but if I did, I need a president that's married. Bro, this guy's talking about parents this, parents that. What are you talking about parents? You're not even a parent. You're not even a husband. Don't tell me what you think parents need, bro. Looking like a fucking swan, bro. God damn, he looks like a duck. Like, he has that face of a bird. I don't know what bird. Fucking flying eagle, bitch. Oh, I'm not that mad. I am that mad. No, I am. Okay, I am. And fuck them, bro. Let's go to the next topic. Now, this one hurts. Like, this one hurts my insides because if you listen to this podcast, which you do, you know that I fuck with the boy Drizzy. I love Drake, bro. Like, I don't want to say I used to be a hater, but I was never a huge fan of him, right? Like, my favorite rappers were like J. Cole back in the day. Even now, my favorite rapper is Young Dolph. Like, my favorite rapper isn't Drake. But I know greatness when I see greatness. And Drake is greatness. When it's all said and done, he's probably going to be the greatest artist of all time in rap. whether you like it or not, just objectively speaking. And he's touring Australia soon, so I will get tickets. But if you didn't hear, Drake is suing UMG, which is his label, and Kendrick's label. So I'm going to quickly just read out a little bit about the lawsuit. So he claims there's a whistleblower who has accused UMG of spending thousands of dollars on bots in order to get Kendrick's song, the diss, 30 million streams on Spotify. He also said it paid social media influencers to promote the song, and he alleges that the label basically dropped all copyright restrictions so influencers could repeat the song and make it go viral. Now, Drake is suing his own label here, right? And Drake, in the song, Kendrick says in the song Not Like Us, he goes, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. And Drake has probably grounds to sue UMG for defamation and other things, right? If he can prove they acted in a way where they did buy bots and they purposely try to fuck him. This does not look good for the boy. And even myself, when it comes to beefs, when it comes to rap songs like Hit 'Em Up and all that song, objectively speaking, how I feel about a song is irrelevant to the actual overall discussion. The general consensus is Kendrick won with Not Like Us. Then that's fine. He won. Whether I agree or not, it doesn't make a difference. The people decide who win a beef and who doesn't, right? That's fine. But suing the company, whether he is right, even if this turns out to be true, is just not a good look in the moment, right? In 10 years from now, we might, if he wins, again, I'm speaking as if he is correct, that they bought bots, they promoted the song, they purposely wanted him to fail. And if you're asking me, why would they want their most successful artist to fail? Simple. Same reason why they want people like Michael Jackson to fail, right? Same reason why they want, Prince to fail. Because somebody like Drake is a powerful entity. He does not need labels anymore. I don't know why he was still signed to a label, to be honest. But every time he goes in there, he's asking for his advance. He's asking for a lot. He's making big demands. If you can bring him down a notch, you don't have to say, oh yeah, we're going to give you the max anymore. We can now negotiate. Before, Drake was out there putting his dick on the table saying, suck it. And they would suck it. Now, it's a bit different, right? So it makes sense for a label. If I'm a label, it makes sense hey, this guy's a bit too big. We have a lot of artists. We can't keep affording to pay him. Let's see if we can kind of bring him down a notch. It's business. It is what it is. So I don't put it past the label to do this. But for Drake, it's just not a good look. And it's hard, right? It's hard because I don't want the labels to win. And everyone's saying he's a punk for suing the labels, this and that. You don't want the labels to win. You don't want to be on the side of the labels, right? You want to believe that Kendrick's success was all to Kendrick's success and it wasn't part of the label, right? Because it just fucking ruins it all. And to be honest, I think Not Like Us probably would have been successful if the labels didn't get bots either way, right? But if they did, it does taint it. Not for now, but 10 years from now, we're going to look back and be like, fuck, it's fucked up what the label did. If Drake wins this lawsuit, it's going to open up a whole can of worms. Do I hope he wins? I don't know. I hope he wins because regardless, he's getting dragged through the mud, right? So at least if he's proven right in his own head, in his own feelings, he is justified. He will be justified, but it won't change anything right now. It will change a lot of things in the future, but it doesn't look good, right? And I like to think people don't do things because of perspective, but Drake, he a light-skinned nigga, bro. It is what it is. He got his feelings hurt, so Whether these things are true or whether he's acting on feelings, I don't know. I just do not think his lawyers would be like, yeah, Drake, you don't have a case here. We should go and sue UMG. I don't think his lawyers are that dumb, right? But it just doesn't look good. I know. But it's Drake, right? So one album, he might just come back with the heat, you know? You got the Super Bowl coming up. Kendrick's performing. Fortunately for Drake, when Kendrick's performing in February, I don't think anyone has noticed this. Literally nobody has noticed this. The Super Bowl's in February. Drake's in Australia at the same time. He's halfway around the world. He announced that he's going to be here now. Right? They haven't even sold tickets. Normally when Drake and them come, they don't even announce it. They come like they'll just put tickets on sale. Boom, you got to come get him. But I think they're letting us know now so that people aren't like, oh, you're running away from America during the Super Bowl when Kendrick's performing and all this tension is on you. You know what I mean? Maybe. Regardless, I'm going to cop tickets, bro, because that's the boy. That's the GOAT. No matter what anybody says, like, the dude is a fucking living legend and you got to give props up to him. And I believe he's right. I believe with the bots and stuff, but it does not change public perception, right? So fuck it. It is what it is. Hopefully he gets over it, and we'll be back next week. Don't forget to listen, subscribe. There's no donate, but just, do your thing and just be around. Stay safe, guys.
You can't kill me, nigga. I swear that I done died before. God told me that I was gonna be here back in 94. Chevrolet got that motor. Diamonds all on my molars. Parking lot, I lift the door up. Got your bitch smoking Coca-Cola. I can't even roll in peace. All my cars orange and green. I can't even go to sleep. Your bitch keep blowing me. I rep that shit from the 850.